Welcome back, viewers. We were talking to the General about his impressions about his tenure when he was the Governor, Sindh, and we were asking him about the flaws in our governance or whatever is required for good governance. Sir, your last comment on that.
A few things I want to say. You see, a man in public office has to be honest. If he is honest and he has no personal interest, then he is on a high moral ground. People are obliged to listen to him, number one. Number two, when I became, governor with full powers as a chief executive of the province, many people came to me that I must order a lot of inquiries about certain bridges which were incomplete, certain road projects incomplete. He said many people have polished out a lot of money. I said, I am not going to waste time. My few months will pass and inquiries will take me nowhere.
Nowhere, sir.
I put all my energy and effort in completing all those projects. These bridges, roads. There was one road, I think, Shahid Millat Road being, in those days being made. And I went to him, I said, I pass here, you work only for a few hours. Why can't you have a night shift also? Why can't you roll the road at night? Can you increase the hours? He said, I can. I said, I'll come back again to see whether you have done it.
Done it or not,
and I went back at night to see whether he had done it. He was very happy to see me. So like that, our effort was to bring some comfort to people. In distribution of water, I gave it to rangers that take water if it is not reaching in the taps and go and distribute it in a just manner. So every man who is in charge of something, he must bring some comfort to the people. He should be an honest person. He should be a well-meaning person. Nek niyati is extremely important for a leader. More important than professional competence, I think.
So from here now we move to your next tenure, which was higher, that of Interior Minister. And it was an excellent period from many angles, but specific to mention, we would like to know from you, your interaction with Mullah Umar, the Taliban government that was in place in Kabul then. The Bamiyan incident took place and you had a very active role in trying to prevent them from destroying those statues. Then you saw 9/11 here. And then one big achievement, which did not materialize, unfortunately, was your police reforms that you were an architect of. Could you give us your views on that, sir?
You see, the search team of General Pervez Musharraf asked me if I would like to become the Interior Minister, to which I agreed. And on taking over, as you said, my first concern was to reform the police of Pakistan. And as I said, I don't like to waste too much time in reinventing wheels. I told them, please take out all the police commission reports which have taken place from inception of Pakistan. There is Mitta Commission and there is Justice Commission, Flana reforms. And I said, all the recommendations, make a summary of all the recommendations, what they suggested. And based on that, I formed a group of intellectuals, of vice chancellors, of journalists. Ayaz Amir was with me, and Qaeda University vice chancellor, and police officers. And within 2-3 months, extracting a lot of information from these old reports, and we had put the thing together. Then NRB came into place, and General Lakhvi thought it was his domain to do the local government and the police. So I handed over all this work which I had done. I said, you put your seal on it, but let us have
let's
it.
do it, sir.
But I am very happy to say that I briefed the cabinet about police. I said the armed forces only go to war. I said we have gone to 2 major wars and 2-3 minor wars. It happens once in a while. The police is on war 24 hours,
24.
7 days a week, 30 days a month. We have not allocated enough resources to them. We don't look after their welfare. We don't take care of their recruitment, their training. And I said, can you ever imagine of an effective police force without an academy for police officers? We lost our police academy in Sarda in East Pakistan. And we didn't have a police academy when I took over. It was working under ad hoc arrangement in the ASI Subordinate Police School of Sihala. Uska head office 2 bungalow mein qaim tha in Islamabad. And people used to go to the ASI's training school, very ad hoc. And Pervez Musharraf and the cabinet did not believe it. So I said, can you think of a Pakistan army without Pakistan military academy? So let us make. So I made sure during my tenure, we made these police reforms. This police academy was made. Then I said there are many types of police. There is levies in Balochistan. There is area in Balochistan, which is only 4%, 5%, which is policed. 95% is levies, which owe allegiance to Sardars and not to the state. And Khasdaran, 54,000 of them. In Fateh is a hereditary post. A dying father says, this bakri for you, this house for you, and Khasdar post for you. And with the rusty rifle, he becomes there, no training, nothing. So I said, we have to address all these problems. We have to extend uniform laws in B areas of Balochistan. We have to integrate FATA. All these reforms we suggested to General Pervez, and some work started on that. But also I am very proud that Nadra ordinance was made in our time, and this computerized identity card was made in those days. We formed the National Alien Registration Authority to register aliens. Its head office was
Nara,
here.
yes sir.
Nara. And we carried out the first serious de-weaponization campaign of this country. And we recovered 286,000 weapons, which is a very respectable and large figure. And NATO forces only took out 30,000 weapons from Bosnia and Kosovo. And the French ambassador gave me a book that their army had de-weaponized. So as compared to that, 30,000, it was a big figure. But it is something which has to go on and on.
Did you ensure that the political interference also be checked in your police reforms? Appointment and postings and positioning.
See, even as a governor and as an interior minister, I said the recruiting committees will not be left to one department, police alone. There will be journalists sitting, there will be civil society members sitting. So tests will be transparent, etc., etc. And merit should be the main
Upheld.
thing. And thank God it was. And secondly, we said ASI's post should be recruited not through, dishing out this politically, but through the Public Service Commission. So we made many such reforms. And these reforms were introduced in the country in Police Act 2001-2002. But later on, Pervez Musharraf made some very basic amendments on the pressure of the Chief Minister of those times. And he took out the heart and soul out of these reforms. For example, I'll tell you one very simple thing. We said there are 18 IGs posted at any one time in various parts of Pakistan. Railway and motorway and FIA and northern area. And for that we said there will be a National Public Safety Commission, Police Commission consisting of 6 MNAs, 3 from opposition, 3 from treasury benches and 6 civil society members. And this panel will decide if a promise needs IG, if we need a IG to be DG FIA to be replaced or motorway to be replaced. I mean, if this was allowed, it was a total neutral body which would work on merit and give a very professional man to the province. The Chief Minister didn't like it. They told the President, tomorrow we have to use these people in twisting elections and getting our opponents picked up. This is no way. Such a IG is not going to listen to me if I don't appoint him. So they find an IG who will be obliging, who will be listening to them.
Or unlawful commands.
Unlawful commands. हर कोई चाहता है political master कि सब जितने ऐसे मुख्तदर अदारे हैं वो घर के उसके लौंडी बन के हाथ बांध के सामने खड़े हों. ऐसा जो है उससे करने से ये बर्बाद हो जाती हैं चीज़ें. तो पॉलिटिकल इंटरफेरेंस को हमने नहीं आने दिया. और देखिए उस ज़माने में मैंने कहा था डिस्प्ले ऑफ वेपन्स इज बैन. ना कोई लॉ बना था ना कुछ था. Through only moral force, by saying on TV, through a press conference, we made sure that people don't know about. I said anybody who is carrying a weapon must be in uniform. Otherwise, if he is guarding somebody, he is a secret man, he should have his weapon tucked in, he should not be visible. But ab aap dekhen today, everywhere there are weapons and weapons and weapons. We don't know whether it is the guard or somebody's guard.
So can we take a short break? Viewers, please stay with us. We'll be back soon and we'll pick up the discussion from here.